Universal Spirit Center. So good to see your smiling faces this morning. Let's give some love to Sounds of Spirit. That's Linda on piano, Oliver on bass, and Matt on drums. And today we have our ensemble on fire singing with us. From the ladies, that's Mariana, new joining us. Pat and Susie's also new joining us. We have our homies, don't you know me, Chris, Bob, and Otis. So thank you, thank you, thank you. My God is awesome. God can move mountains, protects me in the valley, covers me from the rain. My God is awesome. Heals me when I'm tired, strength when I am lost, and guides me on my way. 'Cause my God is awesome. Sing it like you mean it. Move mountains, protects me in the valleys, covers me from the rain. My God is awesome. Heals me when I'm tired, strength when I am lost, and guides me on my way. 'Cause my God is awesome. Let me hear you say awesome. Awesome. Sing it like you mean it. Awesome. Oh, awesome. My God is awesome. What? Awesome. Lift your voice on up. Awesome. Awesome. My God is mighty. Mighty. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Loving. Awesome. My God is mighty. Mighty. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Loving. Awesome. My God is awesome. Awesome. Oh, yeah, yeah. Awesome. Lift your voice if you feel it. Awesome. Awesome. My God is awesome. Welcome to your Sunday. What's up? I'm so glad to see you in the house today. So if you have a cell phone or a carrier pigeon, you have a carrier pigeon? This is the time that you let everybody know that you are at Universal Spirit Center and you're having a great time. And for you at home online, tweet us, share us, like us, spread the word. And once you're done with that, I'm going to have you sit for just a moment while we start our congregational song, and then you'll know the part that you come in and jam with us. Are you with that? You with me? Yeah. All right. Come on, ensemble. Here we go.
Many pray along the way. They don't stop to wonder what the world is coming to. They let something higher reveal the way to greater love. Oh yeah. So the truth keeps telling me, sing of liberation for the ones who are not free. Love can take us higher, reveal the way to greater love. Oh yeah.
So we let it
wash over us.
We let it
make us kinder.
We let it.
Lift us higher.
We let it be. We let it.
Early in the morning.
We let it.
Hold us together.
We let it.
Wash over us.
We let it be. We let it. Woo!
No cry along the way. Walking through the sadness for a world that needs to know. Love can take us higher. Reveal the way to greater love. Oh yeah. So the truth keeps telling me love's the only answer, and to all humanity we can stay inspired. Reveal the way to greater love. Oh yeah.
So we let it.
Wash over us.
We let it.
Make us kinder.
We let it.
Lift us higher.
We let it be. We let it.
Early in the morning.
We let it.
Hold us together.
We let it.
Wash over us.
We let it be.
We let
This is your cue. Everybody.
the love
Wash over us. You know this part. We let it be. We let the joy.
We let the joy wash over
Wash over us. Wash over us.
We let
it. Don't you know?
we let
it. We let it be. We let the peace.
we let
Feel the peace flowing through.
Wash
Wash over each and every one. Oh, we let it.
we let
You know we let it.
it be.
We let it be. We let the love.
the love wash over us.
Flowing over you.
We let
We let it. We let
we
it.
let
We let it. We let it.
it be.
Oh, we let it. One more time with the love. We let the love
Wash over
us. We let it. Oh, you know.
We let
it
it be.
Whoop, whoop. Ensemble on fire.
Good morning. And welcome to Universal Spirit Center. I'm so glad you're here this morning. I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath. Just all that energy right into your heart. Just let your heart open. Right where you are is the presence of the divine. So we just open to that experience right now. Just open to it. So I'm Kevin Busey. I have the great joy and honor to be the spiritual leader of this community. I see a lot of new faces out there. Welcome. If you're new to us this morning, I would love to meet you afterwards. I'll be standing at the back there. So if you're new, please come up and say hi to me. And I see some old faces too. I'm not going to say your names, but I see new faces and some old faces. We don't have to go there. I'm just saying. So, and a special shout out to all of you who join us online. We're so glad that you're part of our community and that you join us online. So we have a lot of kids, which is good because we have a new volunteer. So let's meet the youth ministry team who's going to be busy today with all the kids.
Can you hear me? There we go. Good morning, family. My name is Johnny. Along with Simon, we do youth ministry, and this is our newest volunteer, Dre. Yeah. She answered the call. And of course, you all know Rowan, right? She's a celebrity here. So yeah, we still need more help. So if you feel the call to work with the kids, help out maybe once a month, every other week, come see me or Simon after service. We'd love to have you on board. Every now and then, youth ministry gets commissioned by Bob to help decorations for Spirit Center. So today we'll be making Easter eggs for the Easter celebration. So if you have a kid, we go across the street with the kids, we do arts and crafts, and we bring them back. So yeah, we have lots of kids, lots of teachers, so come join us in youth ministry.
All right, thanks. So I don't know if many of you know, but we have a weekly newsletter that goes out to tell all about the activities that we have going on in our center. And we have a lot of activities. You will find that out to be true during the announcements. A lot of activities. So if you would like our weekly newsletter or just connect with us, there's a contact sheet in front of you, in the sleeve in front of you, especially if you're new. And would you like a weekly newsletter? And also, if you do fill one out, let us know how you heard about us, because we're always interested in hearing how people are hearing about us. Okay, there's that. Also, something very exciting to put on your calendars. March 12th, we have an annual community meeting. And we talk finances. So we talk finances. You're all welcome to that. It's right after our second gathering on Sunday morning, March 12th. We present the budget. We talk finances. We might have little goodies to share. So you're all invited to that. Okay, so now our regular announcer and joke teller, Bob Mosai.
Good morning. I'm Bob Mosai. I have the rest of your announcements for today, and particularly for those people online. If you don't understand, please check our website about the information that I'm going to tell you this morning. Our history, we're going to start with Celebrate Black History Month. Colin Kaepernick, as a political activist, he knelt during the national anthem at the start of an NFL games in protest of police brutality and racial inequality in the United States. In July 2020, Kaepernick signed a partnership deal with Disney Company to develop documentaries and other projects that focus on social justice issues. To overcome racial inequality, we must confront our history and recognize how inequality is participating in all areas of our lives. We are all part of our history. Racial Equality Project's lunch today at 12:30. Let's break bread together as we celebrate Black History Month at Trust Restaurant, a Black-owned restaurant. We will leave after the second gathering. Please sign up at the Yes table or RSVP on the Racial Equality Project's page on our website. Racial Equality Project's call to action. Watch the video, Active Listening with Adishante. Join us as we practice active listening. Watch the video, then we encourage you to introduce yourself to active listening in your daily life. Participate from all of your senses. See the RP page for link to the video. Awakening Wednesday, Magically You. Please join us for a brand new event on Wednesday, February 22nd. The evening will begin with gentle breath work to get you grounded into your body and open up your energy. And it will be led by Toby Geist. Then Catherine Ann will channel the Council of Light. Come explore your journey of awakening from 3D to 5D and how life into the 5D consciousness of gratitude and love is in your daily life. REP presents a movie night. Celebrate Black History Month. Join us on February 24th, 6:30 here at the Lions Club. This is a fun, thought-provoking comedy. It will have popcorn, drinks, and candy. Suggested love offering, $10. And our final announcement, Sages Group meeting today after the second gathering at the offices across the street. Help plan this year's coming events. See Reverend Sherry after the gathering. So, a priest and a minister and a rabbit walked into a bar. And the bartender said to the rabbit, "Can I help you?" And the rabbit said, "I don't know, I'm just here because of the autocorrect."
Good, Bob. Let's acknowledge Bob and his jokes. So I'm going to invite you all to stand. To turn around below the clock, there's a camera there where hundreds of people are watching us online. So let's wave to all of them online. Thank you for being here. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sharing the inspiration. Now turn to each other and welcome each other to Universal Spirit Center. So you'll start us. I'm just talking. You'll start us back.
Good morning, good morning. Go ahead and get that last hug in and head back to your seat. Good morning, everybody. My name is Hunter Tallman. I'm one of the many licensed prayer practitioners here at Universal Spirit Center. I'm here to share a reading, guide us through a meditation, and bring us out with a prayer. Before we get into that, there's a lot of energy in this room. It's incredible. So let's just breathe that in. And as we exhale, just allowing it to just move through our bodies, rooting us to this moment in stillness and in peace. Let's just do that one more time. Breathing it in and allowing it to move through us and root us right to this moment. Today's reading comes from Pema Chodron, the author of When Things Fall Apart. The spiritual journey involves going beyond hope and fear, stepping into unknown territory, continually moving forward. The most important aspect of being on the spiritual path may be to just keep moving. Usually, when we reach our limit, our bodies and minds either freeze up or attack. Just relax and keep moving. How good it is to recognize we are all on this spiritual journey. As individuals, but also on this journey as the one. Moving through each and every experience, no matter what may be happening in our lives, together, united as one. In that oneness, I recognize the presence of all things, of every single challenge, of every single obstacle, of every single emotion and celebration, as an experience of love, as an experience of the one, as an experience of God. With this knowing, I recognize that all things are God, that all things are good, even at times they may not appear. And I recognize that those are simply appearances, that at the very core of each situation, at the very core of each single one of our lives, no matter what we may be moving through, I know is love. I claim for each and every one of us in this very moment the ability to recognize the power of God, to overcome, to inspire, to push us forward, to push us further. I celebrate that power of the One. I know it's a power that moves through each and every single one of us here, each and every one of us watching online, through all of the tech crew, through all of the volunteers, through the greeters, through the musicians, through Gina Walker, and through Reverend Kevin. A celebration of the power of God. It's a celebration of love. It's happening right here, right now. And I'm able to surrender us to that power of love, to that celebration of the One.
All my needs are met. All my needs are met. All my needs are met. Oh, all my needs are met. All my needs are met. All my needs are met. Oh, all my needs are met. All my needs are met. All my needs are met. Oh, all my needs are met. All my needs are met. All my needs are met. All my needs are met.
Sometimes
All my needs are met.
I forget
All my needs are met.
that
All my needs are met.
needs are met. Then and
All my needs are met.
I wake
All my
up
needs are met.
and remember
All my needs are met.
gratefulness. Count my blessings
met.
and I
All my needs are met.
recognize that
All
all
my
my
needs are met.
needs are met. That is
All my needs
why
are met.
I know
All my needs are met.
my needs are met.
All my needs are met. All my needs are met.
There were
All my
times
needs are met.
when I
All my needs are
recall
met.
I
All
couldn't
my
see
needs
the
are met.
light of day.
my needs are met.
That sweet
All my needs
spirit
are met.
made a
All my
way
needs are
out
met.
of no way. And that is
All my
why
needs are met.
I testify
All my needs are met.
that all
my needs are met.
needs are met.
All my needs are met.
All my
All my needs are met.
are met.
All my needs are met.
Sing along with
All my
us.
needs are met. All my needs are met. All my needs are met. All my needs are met. Oh, all my needs are met. All my needs are met. All my needs are met. Oh, all my needs are met. All my needs are met. All my needs are met. Oh, all my needs are met. 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 Oh,
All my needs are met. All my needs are met. All my needs are met.
all my needs are met. All my needs are met. All my needs are met.
Ensemble on fire. Marianne, Pat, Susie, Chris, Bob, and Otis. Thank you.
Awesome. which means we ask our members and congregants to let us know through the year what they're financially going to give to us so that we could create a sound budget. So what we want to do, we have been for 22 years in financial integrity. And we've done that because we've known what we're going to get that month, that year, through the pledge program. So I'm just giving you a heads up. We're going to talk a little more about money this morning than we normally do, but that's a really good thing because I'm going to be talking about fear this morning. So money and fear sometimes goes hand in hand, right? So when we're talking a little later about money, just notice how you're feeling inside. That's just a little precursor to what's coming next. And then I'm going to talk to the cameraman a second. I'm going to be up here, Corey, for the very beginning, and then I'm stepping down. So I have a story I want to tell you, a true story that happened in Russia. Last week I told another Russian story, so I guess they're going through my mind. When we first started our community, for the first 3 or 4 years, we would go to Russia. A team of us would go to Russia and support the Science and Mind Centers that were starting a lot at that time in Russia. So we would go and do 2-week conferences. And this one year, it was actually the first year that I went, that people from our center went. And it was at a big campus that used to be summer camp for communist children. So it was just interesting. It was a summer camp for them. So that's where we, had our conference. And there were we were mainly giving workshops to adults, but there were about 100 teens, and then there were also kids there. So the kids were easy to form programs with, but the teens were kind of a ruly bunch. There were about 100 of them. So the team, the American team, we were talking about how do we engage the teens in this teaching? No. Good morning. I'm so sorry for you who are online. Well, I'm starting with a story here. I'm starting with a story when we were in Russia working with Russians with Science of Mind. So the team was trying to determine how do we get hooked in with the teens. There were about 100 teens. Teens are teens, right, with all their uniqueness, right? There's none in the room, so I could talk about it. They're across the street. So we're talking about it one morning. We're talking about how do we break in with the teens, get connected with them. Okay, so that was the discussion that morning. That afternoon, I was leaving my room to go to dinner. And the way that this campus was set up, it was just a huge courtyard in the center and buildings all around it. So the north side was like the dining room where you'd go to eat. And then I was more on the south side where the dorms were, where I was staying. So I leave my room to walk across this big courtyard to go to dinner. In the middle of this big courtyard is a big platform, maybe double this size, but about 6-7 feet high. You will notice as the story continues, that platform will grow. So I walk out of my room to walk across this quadrant, and there are a bunch of teenagers gathered around this platform. I'm like, why are they all gathered there? And then I realize what they're doing is they're all daring each other to get up to the back of the platform and then to fall into the crowd. You know how you do fall back, Well, this platform's over their heads, so falling back is no small feat. So I'm like, oh my God, I am not walking down this. I'm going around the other way. I'm avoiding this whole situation because I know if they see me, they're going to want me to do this, right? So just as honest to God, just as I realize I got to go this other way, one of them sees me. And he starts yelling. They don't pronounce Kevin exactly how I pronounce Kevin. They say Kevin with a B. So one guy starts yelling, Kevin, Kevin. And then they all start chanting, Kevin, Kevin, Kevin. 100 teenagers. Now, it's not lost on me that I'm trying to figure out how to break in with how to connect with these teenagers. And after I had that question that morning, 100 of them are chanting my name across the courtyard, wanting me to come. And I'm like, oh my God. They're going to drop me. I'm an American. They're Russians. They've heard from their parents what we're really like, right? I'm like, I'm not one to do this. But these 100 kids are chanting, Kevin, Kevin. So I'm like, I've got to go do this. I don't want to do it. I'm afraid I'm going to die. That's the worst case scenario. That's the ultimate fear. I am going to die. So I do walk towards them. I walk up on the platform, which is about 12 feet high at this point. And I turn around to these 100 wild mob of Russian teenagers. And there's a boy and a girl teenager who are telling me how to do this. However, they're telling me in Russian. And you know how someone doesn't understand you, even if it's another language? You tend to shout. So I got these two teenagers shouting at me, which I'm sure they got information that will save my life, but I can't understand them, right? So I get up there and I go to fall back, and I have to tell you, I know it's kind of humorous, I was really scared. I was really scared of falling backwards, you know, and what if they decide not to catch me, or whatever, or they're not, you know, whatever, they're not paying attention or whatever. So I can't move my legs to move back, and sometimes fear is like that. It overwhelms us, right? It overwhelms us. So I have to talk to my body. How is it that I fall back? I have to let go of my legs and push back. I had to talk myself through it. So I fell back. They caught me, and I survived. And from then on, my relationship with them was like cement. It was so connected to them because I think they had a sense that I trusted them. I didn't really, but I think they thought because I felt that I trusted them. So much so that a little later in the week, a bunch of them were going out to pick mushrooms in the forest, not the kind you smoke or eat, but the kind you put in soup. And they had guitars, and so I'm singing with a bunch of teenagers in Russia, going through the forest, picking mushrooms for soup. It was just a phenomenal experience. Phenomenal experience. Yeah, that's the story. So we're reading this book. I want to stand down here because I feel so far from you up here. I'm reading this book, When Things Fall Apart, by Pema Chodron, to assist us in addressing those times in our lives when we are so scared. Those times when things fall apart. Those times when we need something to be stable and connected to, and it falls apart. How many have had that experience? To be human is to have that experience, right? It's Pema Chodron, who wrote the book When Things Fall Apart, says, your life is your teacher. Your life is your teacher. Last month we did a survey of one of Michael Singer's books in which he says, your life is your guru. Ernest Holmes, the founder of our philosophy, is continually saying, the divine is unfolding in the context of your life. So let's be clear about this. Whatever is happening in your life is necessary and valid for your spiritual evolution. It just is. So if something's happening in your life and you don't want it to, or you don't think it should be, or you try to control or change it, you're going against the evolutionary impulse that is happening through your life. When you and I can meet the challenges and the chaos and the crises with open hearts. I talked about this last time, with open hearts. When you and I could meet what scares the crap out of us, we will become more powerful. We will rise above the crisis, and we will evolve. But it requires that we meet our fears. So I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking about this idea of fear, right? So check this out and see if this isn't true for you. We get overwhelmed with fear when we think about the future. These teenagers won't catch me. I will die, for instance. When you and I project in the future, it's a mental concept, right? It's not a reality. It's not happening to us now. It's in the future. So in the future, we don't know what grace or light or inspiration or guidance will be there because we're in the present moment. We only have enough guidance and grace for this moment because this is what we needed. So the next time you get overwhelmed with fear, come back to yourself and this moment and watch the fear decrease. It decreases because it runs rapid in our minds if we let it, the mental concepts. And you know what we do? We always go to worst case scenario, like I did falling off the stage. Worst case scenario, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. That's a pretty worst case scenario, right? I'm gonna die. But it's a projection about the future. So when you struggle with fear, come present in the moment. In this moment, in this breath, right here, is there right now anything to fear? This moment. And I think part of the reason we get so fearful, our thoughts go crazy. But I think, I'll speak for myself. When I get overwhelmed with fear, part of it is, who will I be if I have to let go of this? How will my life be if I have to release that which I'm holding on to? And the fact of the matter, the evolutionary impulse always calls us to leave something. It just does. It just does. So I know for me, I get so fearful when I think, who am I going to be in the future? How am I going to live without this thing that I'm supposed to be letting go of? About, 10 years ago, we had a member here called Mary Rice. It's 10 years ago, those of you who were here, about 10 years ago. And she and her husband came here and introduced the book to us, Presence Process, but that's... So I was taking the Presence Process with her. She was facilitating it. And during that course, she got a diagnosis of cancer and a diagnosis that she would live about 6 weeks, 2 months. And she was healthy when she got this diagnosis. But when she got, and some of you were in this community when this happened, but when she got the diagnosis, she said her first thought was, oh, the doctor's got someone else's records. I'm really healthy, I work out, I eat, it's not me. But then her second thought was when he said, yeah, these are your test results. Her second thought, her second experience was she was filled with light and love and grace. And she spoke to us on a Sunday during that time, and that's how she was in the experience. She had let go. So, her husband called me one particular day and said, if you want to kind of see her while she's still conscious, you might want to come up and see her today. So I did. And he met me at the door, and he said, she's in and out of lucidness, of clear thinking. She's in and out of clear thinking. So when I start to approach the room, I heard her talking kind of nonsense, things that didn't make sense. But as I get to the threshold, she sees me. And she says, Kevin, she says, dying isn't as bad as I thought it would be. dying isn't as bad as I thought it would be. And then she went off in some elucidity and started talking about Cleopatra or something. But that one moment, and I thought, if she could say to us, dying isn't that bad. Everything else seems like it'd be a piece of cake, right? Let's take a breath on that one. So Pema Chodron's guru is named Rinpoche, and that's her guru, her teacher. So Rinpoche told a story, or some of the monks where he lives tells a story, that they were going to visit a new monastery that they had not been to before. So there were a bunch of monks, and Rinpoche is leading this trip. So they're walking up to this new monastery they'd not been to, and there was a dog, a very fierce dog, that was chained up near the gates of the monastery. And so angry, showing its teeth, growling, trying to break the chain to get them, trying really hard to break it, and they were just all like, God, I'm so glad he's on a chain, right? This dog's on a chain, because it looks like it wants to rip us apart, right? So sure enough, kept pushing on the chain, pushing on it, the chain broke. And the dog starts running towards this group of monks, and the monks scream, and the monks kind of run the other way, you know, because there's fear, they're avoiding it, they turn their back on the fear, and they run the other way, right? That's what they do. That's what we do, right? That's what they did. The guru stops, holds his ground, and charges to meet the dog. The dog backs off, and the dog runs away. When we encounter, tend to our fears, they dissipate. They become smaller. They're not as powerful because we're tending to that energetic pattern within us. So when you and I tend to the fear that a wild group of Russian teenagers could bring about, when you and I could tend to the fear of a ravaged, angry, insane dog, when you and I can face and tend to the fears that cause our own knees to grow weak, we evolve. We become more powerful than the fear we've entertained. See, the choice in our lives, right? Here's the choice in our lives. We could try to play really small and really closed in and not encounter fear. We could try that. And we could try really hard and try to control and try to spend our whole lives not feeling fear. And then out of our control, we get a diagnosis. A loved one gets run over by a car. Someone who we're counting on leaves us. And whether or not we plan it, the evolutionary impulse is meeting us in those situations. So here's a power. I said this last week, but I need to remind myself of it this week. When we're faced with crisis or challenge or struggle or heartbreak, take a step back and look at it and say, this is the universe. This is the divine calling me to grow, to rise up, to become more powerful than these things that could drag me down. It's the call. And I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking about the call to meet those things that break our hearts and to still stay open. And I think there's three things that might be helpful for us when you and I are encountering such things in our lives. I think the first thing, and this isn't meant to be some religious piety statement, pious statement is what I'm trying to say. It's not meant to be that. It's to become aware that the biggest spiritual truth is that energy which created everything, it resides within you, that loving intelligence that created everything. And I don't mean this as some theoretical, philosophical statement, but an actual experience or awareness that you and I get really clear that within us is the same energy that created everything. It resides within us as an intimate presence. Therefore, all the guidance, all the compassion, all the insight, all the grace that is needed to move through this thing, we have it. The second call that helps us to move through difficult times, which is probably the most difficult thing, it's to sit with ourselves. It's to calm the body, it's to open the mind, it's to cool the thoughts. It's to sit with ourselves in the stillness long enough that you and I could feel into the guidance and the inspiration. If you and I are trying really busy during a time of crisis, really trying to control, stay busy, we're missing the moments of inspiration and of guidance, that the voice that tells us when and how to take the next step. And that's really important when you and I are going through tough times. It's really important to stay connected to that inner guidance. And the third thing, when things fall apart, the tendency is to look at ourselves and say, what did I do wrong? How did I screw this up? How am I to blame? That does absolutely nothing to help us through the process. And it's not true. When things fall apart, it's a call from the universe to evolve greater than that thing that's falling apart. So it's imperative when things fall apart, when we have to let go of something, to have loving kindness for ourselves. And it could be as simple as an in-breath, loving, an out-breath, kindness. Loving, kindness. In the degree that we have loving kindness with ourselves is the degree we'll have loving kindness with others. So we're going to go through a loving kindness Buddhist exercise here, prayer. So I'm going to invite you to sit up straight and tall in your chairs. Sit up straight and tall. Shoulders back a bit. Go ahead and just let your body relax. Go ahead and close your eyes. And if you're at home, please join us in this as well. Please join us in the breath. Go ahead and closing your eyes. Let's just take a moment and just really get connected with presence. Get connected with the Holy Spirit within us, with God's love. So this prayer is done in 3 stages for ourselves, for someone else, and for the world, and I'll lead you through it. So go ahead and let's start with doing this prayer on our behalf. So place your hands over your heart. Just feel from your heart the radiating light and energy coming forth from the center of your being. And so we pray this prayer. We pray this prayer on our behalf. So please repeat after me. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be happy and healthy. May I feel connected and calm. May I be peaceful. May I awaken to the light of my own true nature. So breathe this in. Let this energy fill every cell of your being. Loving kindness. And call forth in your mind someone in your life who you would like to pray this prayer on behalf of. So imagine her or his face before you. Could be a beloved pet or a person. And go ahead and extend your right hand as though you were touching their heart, his or her heart. Extend your right hand. And let's pray this prayer on their behalf. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be happy and healthy. May you feel connected and calm. May you be peaceful. May you awaken to the light of your own true nature. So send this energy to that person. Let loving kindness fill them. Now I'm going to invite you to extend both hands out as a blessing to all beings, and we pray this prayer on behalf of all beings. So if you would repeat after me. May all beings be filled with loving kindness. May all beings be happy and healthy. May all beings feel connected and calm. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature. And so we send this energy of loving kindness out to all beings everywhere. We just imagine the planet being bathed in loving kindness, healing, restoring, bringing peace where there's conflict. Taking a deep breath in, bringing this all back home. So let's join together in this prayer as we say together. Thank you for participating in that. And now we're welcoming back the Ensemble on Choir. The Ensemble on Fire. I almost said on choir. On fire.
I'm sad. I'm sad. Hold on to me. Don't let me go. Who cares what they see? Who cares what they know? Your first name is free. Last name is dumb. 'Cause you still believe in where we're from. Man's red flower is in every living thing. Mind, use your power. Spirit, use your wings. Freedom. 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 Hold on to me. Oh, don't let me go. 'Cause cheetahs need to eat. Run, antelope. Your first name is King. Last name is dumb. 'Cause you still believe in everyone. When a baby first breathes. When night sees sunrise. When the whale hops to sea. When man recognizes freedom. 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 Breathe in. We are from heat, the electric one. Does it shock you to see? He left us the sun, the atoms in the air, organisms in the sea. The sun and yes, man are made of the same things. Freedom. 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 Freedom.
My name's Carolyn, and I am here to talk to you about the Conscious Giving campaign. It's our annual opportunity to make our pledge of giving for this center. And as Kevin said, for 22 years, this center's been running in integrity and staying within our budget, paying our bills, taking care of our obligations, and giving 10% out to the greater community. And for all of you that I recognize and actually know your names, which, you know, I'm the kind of person that knows a lot of people but don't know names. In this community, I know your names. And for the people that I don't know, thank you. Thank you for giving and creating this environment that is just awesome. Thank you very much. So I'm going to talk about social justice. Our social justice group is called Spirit in Action, and the Racial Equality Project, which we refer to as REP. The mission of the Spirit in Action social justice group is to connect with the community to ensure love and equality in all those who are in need of light. Spirit in Action was formed to serve people in our community, outside our community, and throughout the world so that they could live in dignity and peace. Among the issues we address locally are homelessness, immigration, women's rights, equality for all, gun control, refugees, and that's just to name a few. One of the regular events that we do as Spirit in Action is we serve meals to the unhoused once a month down at PATH, which is a people assisting the homeless building downtown. If you're interested in this, our next meals are going to be on the 28th. And the Spirit in Action group meets on the second Sunday of every month after the second service. Attend. It's right across the street. And after first service. I'm sorry. First Sunday of the month. Okay, scratch that. First Sunday of the month after second service. Viraj obviously has more information.
Will you stand, Viraj?
Viraj.
She's head of our community outreach program.
Okay. And then next we have the Racial Equality Project, which is REP, and that is a group that was formed after the murder of George Floyd. It was a way for our center to address the pain and to address systematic racism that's in our own community and in the community abroad, and to do something. Primarily, we focused on awareness and education. And last year, as part of our REP group had a field trip to Alabama where we learned more about the civil rights era and actually were on scene to see those things that a lot of us just saw in black and white movies. We're planning another trip. Stay tuned. We also host lunches, and today after this service is our next lunch. If you haven't RSVP'd online or all the other ways, come. It's at Trust. It's at 12:30, and we would love to have you there. It's where we break bread and we just get to know each other further, and we get to support a local black-owned business. If you're interested in joining REP, see either me or Gino. We always need more volunteers with more ideas. I appreciate everything you guys do and give. I love this community, and I greatly appreciate the opportunities that it provides. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you. So I was sharing with First Gathering, whenever I do go to a minister's meeting, inevitably some minister will come up and say, I looked at your website or I got your newsletter and I'm so impressed with the work that you're doing out in the world. We're doing a lot of work out in the world, and it's because of your generosity that we're able to do that. And tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. in Balboa Park, we're joining other faith-based communities in cleaning up the park. There's a flyer in the back. If you're interested in attending, it's honor of Martin Luther King. They scheduled it on his actual, birthday, but it was raining. So we're doing a cleanup in the park tomorrow. So flyers in the back if you're interested in that. Yeah, and Carolyn will be there and more information. Okay, I told you it was a lot about, money we're talking about here this morning. So here's an opportunity for you who are members and congregants of our community, and even if you're here for the first time, we have a little altar created. What we wanted to do a few years ago was bring some sacredness to this conscious giving event that we do. So here's what we're going to do. For those of you who have filled out a conscious giving card, they're in the seat backs in front of you. You're free to turn them in this morning. If you need time with them or have not filled them out, take them home, and we're going to have the same opportunity next week. So there's no rush here. It's just that for those of you who do give and know what you're giving, please fill out the card. And if you would like, in a moment, we're going to have a New Age altar call, which you'll walk down here, you'll prayerfully place your pledge, your conscious giving promise in the bowl, and then you'll return to your seats. So for those of you who grew up Catholic, it's like communion. You're coming down the center and you're returning by the sides, and then we have little hearts for you to take as you give, little stone hearts, beautiful little hearts. So you can take one, but those of you who are formerly Catholic, if you want me to kind of give you communion on the tongue, I'll do that. No, I won't do that. That was a joke from first. But take a card. So what we're going to have in a moment is the ensemble is going to come up and lead us in a chant. I'm going to invite you to participate in the chant. If you aren't pledging today but are simply giving a gift today, you're welcome to come down the aisle and join as well. So you're all are welcome to do that. Any questions at this point? Yeah. Oh, that's a really good question. If you're online and are feeling called to give, push the Get Involved tab and then Conscious Giving Program. So Get Involved tab, Conscious Giving Program, and you could make your commitment that way. So I'm going to invite you to come down, prayerfully come down, get your heart, leave your gift, and then return to the sides. And then after that's all done, if you don't want to walk down the center, that's fine. We will pass out baskets like we usually do after everyone's gone through. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so I'm going to invite you to please place your hands over your heart right now. Let's just go ahead and just take a breath in. Just connect with that source within us that is infinite. That source that is infinite. Just connect with that right now. Just open your heart and connect with that source that's infinite. And just ask that infinite source, what is it that is yours to give to this community? What's the call? What is this infinite source inspiring you to give?
I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready
A couple of teenage kids
to
Rowan's mom.
receive. I am
She has a stray dog. She's walking over. She just had 10 puppies. Ask her.
I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart, my heart, my heart, my heart. I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. I'm opening. I'm opening. My heart is so ready to receive. Let's take this in our heart and hum with us.
So I invite you all to stand. If you're comfortable to hold hands with each other or put your hands over your heart. Are we doing that? So take a deep breath in, right where you are. Know that the presence of this one divine life is evolving through your life. That's just the truth. There's an evolutionary impulse and expansion that's happening right where you are. And it's the divine unfolding. So let's experience this. Let's open to it. Let's claim it. Let's let it be. And so it is.
So join us as we sing, We Let It love.
We let the love wash over us. We let it be.
We let the love.
We let the love wash over us. We let it be.
We let the peace. We let
The peace
the peace
wash
wash over each and every one of us. We let it be. We let it be. Yeah, we let the joy. We let
the joy
the joy wash over you right now. Let the joy. Let the joy. Yeah. We let the love. We let the love wash over. We let it be. Let the love. We let the love. We let it.
be.
Have a fantastic Sunday, Universal Spirit Center. And when people see that beautiful light glowing through you, you tell them, I got this from Universal Spirit Center.